Now, I didn't make this decision or take this challenge lightly. I know what an awesome task it is. Tremendous responsibility. Many, many, many people counting on you. You know, a good friend of mine, Frank Zulo, said to me, you know, the president has his staff, he's buffered. The governor has his staff, he's buffered. When it comes down to the mayor, you're out there in the community. You're out there meeting the people. You have no buffer zone. You have to show the people that you care for them, that you listen to them, and that you're engaged in their concerns and their problems. So I believe, I know that I had the energy, the vision, and the stamina to do what needs to be done to make Norwalk the best it can possibly be. You know, we're a big city and we have the same kinds of problems that every city has. Some of them are critical to the future of Norwalk, critical to each and every person in this room. And they all interact and they all impact each other in one way or another. That's our educational system, growth and development, crime, and last but certainly not least, our government. Now, I remember a time, which we all do, when people used to move to Norwalk so they could educate their children here. I want to bring them back. We have a very, very good school system. We have dedicated, highly competent teachers. Could our school system be better? Of course, everything can be better. And it's our job to work together to make it better. We're involved right now in perhaps one of the most critical decisions facing the school system, the selection of a superintendent of schools. I attended several of the meetings where they had community input. You know, this is something that we shouldn't rush into. This is something that we need to take time and make sure we get it right. We need to select the most highly qualified candidates, thoroughly vet them, and when the decision is ready, to pick that candidate, that one candidate, who has a proven history of accomplishment, vision, and leadership. And once we select that person, he or she needs to have the full support and backing of the Board of Education. You know, we all hear about the school budget and how much of a part of the overall city budget it is, but you know what? We need to fully fund our Board of Education. I'm not talking about doling out money just because they ask for it. That's not responsible. I'm talking about people working together, sitting down, putting together a reasonable budget, one that will provide for our children the greatest and most up-to-date technology available to improve our infrastructure so that our children have safe schools and a safe an environment in which to learn. You know, I was appalled the other night. I attended one of these superintendent meetings I mentioned, and one of the administrators started talking about the school infrastructure, the information technology. And I was surprised to learn that some of the systems don't even communicate with each other. In this day and age, that's mind-boggling. It's archaic. All that causes is having to download one program to start working on that and downloading another, and it takes time and it creates redundancies that are unnecessary. We need to fix that. We need to get the highest level of technology available for our school system so that the teachers and administrators can do their job, do it effectively, and do it efficiently. I also know that there's a program in place right now to phase in the K through 12 core curriculum. It's about time. 45 states across the nation have adopted this. Other countries have adopted this. I promise to fully support and fully fund the implementation of the K through 12 core curriculum program. I further promise that as mayor, I will do everything within my power to ensure that the phase-in stays on track, that it doesn't get delayed for this program or doesn't get delayed for that program. Let's do it, and let's do it right. Now, we also know that not every child can go to college. But what we can do is we can and we will ensure that every child has an opportunity to graduate from high school to prepare them for success in life. There's another program out there which I think is critical and really ought to be considered for implementation. It's called the Life Social Skills Program. That's a program that teaches young people team building, self-discovery, personal appearance, conflict resolution, community building, personal relationships, budgeting and banking, educational planning, respect for others, and tolerance. You know, folks, it may sound cliché-ish, but I've never been afraid to use a cliché. The children are our future. If we ignore them, if we ignore their needs, we shall suffer the consequences.
That's right.
You know, in 2011, September, October, figure out the timing, there were several groundbreakings in Norwalk. Since that time, the only movement has been demolition of buildings, resulting in gaping holes along the West Avenue corridor. You know, we have a wonderful community with many, many natural resources, beaches. Norwalk used to be a destination, and it can be again, but we need to get these projects moving. Wall Street has been struggling for an identity for decades. We need to bring anchor stores into Norwalk, onto Wall Street. We need to do that by effectively, I'll repeat, by effectively marketing our community. We need to encourage developers to come back into town and invest their money. Now, we have some really wonderful projects on the boards, don't get me wrong. We've got 95-7. We've got Waypoint. We've got POCO, and we have Head of the Harbor. Wonderful developments which are stalled but need to get moving. And how do you do that? We sit down with all the stakeholders. We sit down with the financial institutions, the business owners, the developers, the mayor's office, the department heads. Norwalk should be a friendly place to do business, not an obstacle. And we need to sit down with these people, roll up our sleeves, and figure out how do we jumpstart these projects in spite of a stalled or difficult economy. And we can do that. Can we provide tax incentives? Tax incentives that will encourage development, grow the grand list, and remove some of the tax burdens off the shoulders of our homeowners. And again, it